Alright, hello and welcome. This is Lucy the Bold, and this should be episode 257, I believe. Yes. Anyways, I am up here in the summit area. This is Bellfire Garrison Silkfrost at Midnight Sanctum, Bellfire Garrison Rimrock, Fletcher Marble Quarry. Okay, so I got really good stuff here in my village. So yesterday, after getting killed multiple times, I decided to reset my skills because being a mutt of, partially being a fighter, partially being a rogue or an archer, and partially being a mage just wasn't cutting it. So I reset all my skills, okay, and I don't know why I have 149. I think you're supposed to have 150 if I remember correctly. But anyways, the first thing I did is I went up the survivor tree so I could get double jump, okay, and then I stopped there. I didn't want to go any further because I don't intend to do jump attacks or jump attack 2. Then I went up the ranger tree for a specific reason. So dexterity, marksman, damage dealt with ranged weapons. So plural on weapons. So that could also include staves and wands. Counter battery, 15% damage to ranged enemies. Eagle's Bane, damage against flying enemies. And then of course, if you take the ranger thing at the top, it gives you a +2 to endurance, +2 to dexterity, +5 to stamina recharge, +5 to critical chance, and +5 to critical damage. And then to pick up the updraft, the reason why I went up here was for this, and then the airborne glider, and then I simply went over here. On the trickster tree, I was very specific in what I wanted. So spirit, counter strike. Okay, after receiving damage, there's a 20% chance to reflect 50% of the damage back to the target as fire damage. Intelligence, be gone. Not that I fight without something on me, but to get up to here, I had to go through there. So, spirit, okay, increases mana by 30 per attribute point. And then blood magic, when your mana drops below 20%, you restore up to 35% of your maximum mana at the cost of 1 health per mana. This will stop at 1 health, so you would never die, basically, is what it's saying. But it's a way to give you more firepower for a longer period of time. Then I came up to wizard tree, took everything, okay. Quick charge. Quick charge is a necessity if you're going to use Shroud Meteor, because Shroud Meteor takes a little while to charge up. Cast time is 5.1 seconds. Alright, and then Arsonist, all fire damage increased by an additional 10%. Pyromancy increases fire damage by 20%. Radiant Aura is really nice because anything that's in the shroud, okay, within 5 meters, takes 1 fire damage per intelligence per second. Alright, so my intelligence is 26, so that means the enemy is taking 26 points of damage every second just for being close to me. And I've literally killed things and had things die just by my aura. Alright, Sun Aura upgrades the aura to deal another additional fire damage per intelligence. And then Spirit increases your Spirit attribute by 1, increases mana by 30. Alright, then here. And then Thunder, because of lightning damage. Okay, Wizard, when attacking with a magical weapon, your critical hit chance is increased by 10%. And then I went to the Dark Arts. All Shroud damage is increased by an additional 10%. And then the Abyss. All Shroud damage is increased by an additional 20%. And then on this side of the tree, Chain Hit is really nice, because if the enemies are within 15 meters for shocking damage, it allows you to sit there and hit more than one. A critical attack with a magic weapon will hit all enemies within 20 meters of the target for 2 shocking damage per intelligence. So my intelligence is 26, so now we are looking at 52 if I'm using a shock wand. Okay, and then of course the intelligence attribute, and then this side of it is for ice damage, Sub-Zero, and Frost. So pretty much everything in this tree I took. Then I came down here to the healer tree. I always take Necromancer because those little skulls that help you out are very tough, and they will go after the enemies on their own. They don't even have to be guided. Healer tree health gain from healing spells will be increased by 10%, and then taking this one by an additional 20%. Okay, and then I went to Water Aura, which you emit a healing aura. It heals all injured allies within 15 meters. But I play solo, so it's going to heal me as well. And then Waters of Life increases water aura healing to 2 health for every 2 points of intelligence. So again, that is 52 points of healing coming in off of water aura. Give me the difference between life and death. Shroud filter, dealing magic weapon damage, has a 15% chance to trigger a small flame burst that restores 30 seconds of shroud time to you and your allies. I do play sometimes with a couple people, you know, so I took that just because of that reason. Healing Revive allows you to revive players. And then the 2 intelligence tabs. And then I took Blink. I like Blink. The tank has something similar to a Blink, you know, but I like this one better. And an emergency Blink. Now I did not take Blink Attack because I typically, as a mage, will not dive into the center of the fray. So that doesn't do me any good. And in Spirit. So everything I'm taking right now is to try to maximize my mana and my Spirit. So the Battle Mage, on a successful parry, you gain 20 mana. And then Unity, damaging enemies with wands, has a 24% chance to recover 4% of your mana. And then I went to Wand Master, excuse me. Attacking with the wand has a 30% chance to spawn an additional projectile that deals 50%. So once again, I've got something that's adding to my ability to do damage. Sting, repeated wand damage is increased by 20%. Okay, Okay, now I did not take Life Burst. Okay. And I did not take Internal Spark because I wanted to pick up these last 3 intelligent nodes in Life Essence. I did come up the Constitution tree just to sit there and give myself more armor. Alright. So as far as my gear goes, alright, I'm using the Trailblazer hood. That's a leftover, but I'm going to keep it on because ranged critical strike chance and critical strike damage. Okay. I have the Mountain Shadow Crest on because of health. That extra 300 health and extra plus 30 to stamina. Now, this one I am going to change out and put some mage gloves on. And then the Thermogirdy pants add to my mana. And then the Trailblazer boots, I have those on because stamina regeneration delay is 700. You can't beat that. Rings, currently I am using the Ring of the Ancients. This character's only found 1. I have some characters that have 3 or 4. Greater Ring of Health, which I'm going to switch that one out for the Commander's Ring because it'll add mana and health. Of course, the Ghost Glider, the improved grappling hook, the large backpack, and the Brazen Bull shield. And then here's what my attributes look like at this time. Now, my shroud time, okay, I have that set for maximize underneath settings. Okay. Damage. Alright. I don't quite figure out how sneak damage always seems to be so high when I do my builds because I only have one dagger wielder. But apparently there is something that keeps multiplying the sneak damage. So, and merciless attack. But this is what I like right here. Flying damage. They're going to take in 30% more damage. In range, 15% more damage. Okay. Protection wise, the shield gives me 31 block. Parry Potter is 148. So that's when you, like, you know, put your shield up in front of you to, and then bang. Physical resistance, magical resistance, those are actually pretty close to being the same. Poison susceptibility is 100%, and shroud susceptibility is always going to be 100%. It's, you know, there's just no way to get around that. Alright, so I need to make some different gloves. So for that, I am going to go over here and see my good. I don't know why this door always stuck in the open position. And hopefully I can make the gloves. I can make those definitely. 15% to 1 damage, 11% damage against magical foes. Okay. And that's 7% damage against magical foes. Staff damage, I like using a staff. Let's see here. Okay, I'm not really going to be reviving people. Now, these would be good because of healing myself with the water aura or using a spell. So it's going to be a toss up between this set of gloves, which does 1 damage, and damage against magical foes at 11. Damage against magical foes is only 7. So I'm actually going to go with the wand damage because a lot of times when you are in close quarter combat, you're going to be using a wand and not your staff, and then that allows you to use your shield. Okay, close that. And then we're going to switch out my gloves. Okay, so now my magical resistance and my physical resistance are actually the same. Okay, yeah, interesting. Okay, so in my ranged and my flying stayed the same, but my magical went up a little bit. Okay, critical damage still the same. Nice. Wands plus 15. Bows plus 10. Okay, that looks good. Yeah. So, as the saying goes, proof is in the pudding. So let's, where do I want to go to? You know what? I need to go out here because I need to get some more of that sand stuff. So we'll go over this way. Oh, food-wise, of course, obviously, I have the yellow glow soup, which gives 5 to intelligence, 5 to spirit, and plus 2 to mana recharge. Still using the pumpkin soup because of the healing regeneration and stamina recharge. And then at this time, the beef stew because it adds plus 4 to constitution, plus 4 to strength. Now, I did just eat. So, constitution did go up. Okay. So that's cool. My damage stayed the same. Okay. Alright. And we're going to put this on. Oh, let me grab that. I take free cloth anytime I can get it. Alright, let's go over. Let's go over this way. The village I'm coming up to is Sapphire Strand, but I'm not going to go to Sapphire Strand. I'm actually going to come down into here. And that's the glob that I want right there. Alright, this will just take a minute. This is a big glob of that shroud sand. I will say one thing that I'm not a fan of is the fact that a lot of the recipes, when they changed to add the new items, it takes a redonkulous amount of the new stuff, you know, to make something. And I'm guessing it's just because they want you to come out here and farm stuff in these new areas. But I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm just saying. Okay. Now, if we were in the summit, these big mushrooms would be dropping the ice. But out here, they drop the brittle shroud flakes. Alright, let's go out this way. There's something. Oh, hey, that's one of those big bugs. Ouch! Super fast bitch. Yes. Alright, now if you don't finish these off until they're gone, they do regenerate. So I do advise you, because when he hits hard and he hits fast. What's that? Experience scroll. Now those floating jellies are also out here, so you do want to keep an eye out. There's a whole band of people. See, I'm doing 600 to 800 points of damage now per hit, and with my mutt build, I was only doing around 400, 200 to 400. So, I'm much more robust as far as my damage goes. Now, I still can't take much of a direct hit being a mage, but my survivability is going to be a little bit better because of some of the things I put into being a mage. Like the fact that anything that gets close to me is going to take a lot of damage. And hopefully we'll learn not to do so. So that was an insta-kill. Who's Big Boy Blue over here? I know it's another one of those blue monsters. I want to get him because of the carapace that he has. Where did he go? I hear him. I hear him gurgling. That's good. One shot. Nice. Vaulter Talons. Okay, let's see here. We actually want to go over here. And we'll get that here in a minute. These guys here with the flower heads on them. Should be another one. Oh, there he is. They give you those hearts as well. I hear one of those beasts chircling. Alright. I don't have a gemstone on me. But I wanted to get that mark because I like to come over here. I don't see any of those floating guys. Sorry, I'm going to grab some things while we're out here. Because I'm low on some of my supplies. I know some stuff went over the side. Unfortunately, that... Yeah, it looks like it slid over and then down into the red. Because there's a kill zone down there. And I'd rather not go down there. All right. Now, I think it's going to be faster to go back around that way to get up and out. So my understanding is there's 25 of between the gem forges and the night sanctums. There's a total of 25 around the world in this game. And I know that I am not even close to having found all those spots. I've also been trying to find Nomad Highlands fertile soil, and I'm having a really difficult time finding it. I mean, it seems like if you go over to an area that has plants, that's going to be the best way to find the Nomad fertile soil. Alright, let's change this up just a little bit. Yeah, we're going to do some electrical damage. Why is he just sitting there? I don't really want to. There we go. What are those guys doing down there? Nice. Lots of damage. And that's the way that I do it. Oh, that building over there, that yellow, goldish yellow one, that's the one where you can get the cat. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. Wow. He didn't want to die for me. That house down there has spiders in it. Lockpick, sweet. Yay. Nope. So yeah, I would say that I am definitely more robust. So that's going to be it for me for today. This was to show you how I build a mage, and then what the mage can do when they're properly built. Join me on Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time until roughly 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Twitch, as I will be live streaming. That will be your opportunity to converse with me about whatever it is that you want to know about, or any questions that you have about anything that I've done, or anything that you're wanting to see. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. The feedback has just been awesome so far from it. I am trying to get my subscriber build up over there. I currently have 1,700 subscribers on YouTube, but I need to get my Twitch account going now. So I will talk to you all tomorrow. And again, thank you very much, and you have a good day.